Hey guys, this is Unipset Fans out here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for the 2022 NASCAR driver lineup. And yeah, but before we start with this video, if you guys noticed that my meme I actually made today of Amtrak 100, if you notice that video is now not on my channel anymore, it's just because I decided to delete the video. It's just because I didn't feel like making meme videos anymore. I mean, meme videos are kind of interesting, but I decided I don't want to do these type of videos anymore. And besides, I was worried I was going to get copyrighted for that video. And yeah, so I mean, I apologize for what happened there. And yeah, I hope you guys completely understand what I did there. But yeah, I mean, just don't be mad at me for this. It's just because I didn't feel like it. And yeah, but I hope you guys understand that. I mean, I'm still a fan of Amtrak, and yeah. But I mean, let's get started with the driver lineup. So let's start. So starting off here, of course, we have Quinn Half, and he's staying with Starcom because I believe his contract will expire next year. I believe that. And then we get to the first change here, and I actually predict that this year will be Kurt Busch's last season in Chip Ganassi Racing. Just because, I mean, his contract expires this year, and I have a feeling this will be Kurt's last year, because last year he said it was a 50-50 chance that this will be his final season for Chip Ganassi Racing. I mean, I just have a feeling this will be Kurt's last year. I mean, I like Kurt Busch, he's a good driver, but I just feel like this is going to be his last year. And yeah, so I mean, and for the replacement for Kurt Busch, I think Noah Gragson will take over the one car and will drive for Chip Ganassi Racing along with Raj Hassan for 2022. I mean, maybe there could be a chance where he could just drive for someone else maybe next year if he wants to go to the Cup Series, but I have a feeling it's gonna be Chip Ganassi. And also, guys, if you want to know why I do that there, like with this thing up here, it's just because that way in case my phone tries to turn off. And yeah, but I mean, so yeah, I mean, I think Noah Gragson will go to Chip Ganassi Racing next year. I mean, if you don't agree with my with what I'm deciding here, I mean, that's fine with me either with that. And then we go to the next one, and I think Brad Keselowski will stay with Penske for another year. I mean, I actually feel like he's gonna have a multi-year contract. And yeah, I mean, he just won Talladega, and I feel like Brad will stay with Penske for a few more years. And yeah, but of course, you guys know I don't like Brad. And yeah, then Austin Dillon and Kevin Harvick, they're staying with their teams. I mean, Harvick, he signed a contract that's going to keep him in the 4 car until 2023. But in 2023, I think Kevin Harvick will retire that year. Kyle Larson, he'll be staying with Hendrick Motorsports because he's new to the 5 car and he's already having a good season. I mean, he already has a win at Las Vegas and he's just been running really well. I mean, he didn't do well at Talladega, but I think Larson will stay with Hendrick Motorsports for many years to come. Then we have a new change. I think this year will be Ryan Newman's last year for Roush Family Racing, and I think Ryan Newman will retire at the end of the year. I mean, people have been saying this could be Newman's last year just because of what happened last year in the Daytona 500 with his wreck. People think this will be Newman's last year, and honestly, I have to agree too, since this is Newman's last year on his contract. And yeah, but I mean, I like Ryan Newman. He's a great person and great driver, but I feel like this was his last year. And yeah, but I mean, and for his replacement, I think Matt Benedetto will take over the number 6 car for Roush because apparently he said on Twitter that he can't wait to drive the new Ford next gen car. So that could possibly mean that he'll be returning to Ford next year. I mean, who knows? Maybe it could be wrong. I mean, maybe he could go to Stuart Haas, but I mean, we'll just find out. But I mean, this is just my choice, and I think Matt Benedetto will go to the 6. I mean, that's just my opinion. And yeah, then we move down here. Corey LaJoie will stay with Spire. And Todrick will stay with RCR. Elliott will stay with Hendrick for a while now. I mean, I heard his contract expires in 2022. Eric Camarillo will stay with SHR. I mean, so far Almirola has been having a good start to the season, but he already has a top 10 this year. I mean, he didn't. I don't think he didn't finish that well at Talladega. I mean, I'm not sure where he finished because I forgot. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Almirola will stay with SHR for a little while. And yeah, but I mean, we'll just find out. Then Denny Hamlin, he at the beginning of the year he signed a contract extension, so Hamlin's staying around with JGR for a few more years. Ryan Blaney, as far as I heard of, he He's staying with Penske maybe until 2023. Chase Briscoe, he is staying with SHR2. James Davidson will be a part-time driver of the 15 car. I'm not sure who else can drive the 15 car when James Davidson does his races. And yeah, but as you guys notice here, I put it as a non-charter team, and this is a prediction for me here. I think at the end of the year, Rick Rowe Racing will sell 2 of their charters, and who will they go to? We're gonna get to that in a little bit. And yeah, then we move down here, and I think next year Colleague Racing will go full time in the Cup Series, and Justin Haley will drive the number 16 Chevy for Colleague Racing, and he will enter his first full time rookie season. I mean, Justin Haley, he's been running quite a few races this year for Spire Motorsports. He already has a win in the Cup Series, and that was Daytona back in 2019 in a rain shortened race. But I think Justin Haley will continue racing for Colleague, and Colleague Racing will go Cup Racing next year. But I still think they're going to be in the Xfinity Series, because I think they should stay in the Xfinity Series. That way there's at least some competitive teams in the Xfinity Series. And yeah, moving on here, Chris Buescher will stay with Roush. My favorite driver, Kyle Busch, he will stay with JGR, since I heard that he has a contract until 2022, which is honestly good since I'm a Kyle Busch fan, even though 2022 is next year. Then Truex and Christopher Bell will stay with JGR2, since Truex signed a new contract this year. Then we get to Austin Cindric, who has already announced that he will be going to the Wood Brothers next year and will be racing full time. Joey Logano will return to Penske, and Bo Walsh will return to 2311. Then William Byron will stay with Hendrick. And then we have Go Fast Racing. And now, Go Fast has already sold one of their charters. And as far as I heard of, Ryan Ellis is going to be the driver. Because I heard Go Fast is going to be doing some races this year. I mean, I think that's what I heard of. I mean, they're supposed to do the road courses, but yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure about what they're going to do for next year. I mean, maybe they return for more races. I mean, I'm predicting that they're going to run the super speedways and the road courses next year. But I mean, we'll just find out what happens. I mean, I'm not sure what races they're going to run this year, but we'll just wait and see. Yeah, then we get to hear Michael McDowell will stay with Front Row Motorsports. And then we get to this one here. Then we have, like, right here, the 36. I think Todd Gillan next year will run for a part-time season and will drive the number 36 car for Front Row Motorsports, and will run a few races for them next year. And yeah, but I mean, this is my prediction. And no, the 36 car is not a non-charter team, because Front Row Motorsports went back to 2 cars. I mean, in 2019 they had 3 with Matt Tiff. It's a 36. But I mean, they're not. I don't think they're going to go back to a 3-car team. I think 2 cars is enough. And yeah, but I mean, Todd Gillan, he'll just run for a part-time season and will just run in a non-charter car. I mean, I don't know what races he'll run. Maybe all the super speedways, maybe, but I'm not sure. Yeah, and then we get to the 37 Orion Priests, and as you guys notice here, I put it as a non-charter team because this year, JGD Doherty still one of their charters to Spire Motorsports. I believe it's the number 7 car, as far as I heard of. And yeah, but I mean, I think Ryan Preece will stay with JGD Doherty, but I'm not sure how many races he's going to run next year if it's a non-charter team. I'm not sure if he's going to run the full schedule this year, because people are saying he might not run it. But I mean, we'll just find out what happens. I mean, maybe GG Doherty could get that charter and get a charter for the 37, but I'm not sure how this is how it's gonna go. And yeah, but I mean, we'll just see. Then we get to the 38 of Anthony Alfredo. He will stay in the car for another year. Cole Custer will return to SHR with his contract. Sorry about that. And then we have Raj Hassan. He's staying with Chip Ganassi. Eric Jones staying with Richard Petty Motorsports, but there's been rumors lately that Richard Petty Motorsports will go to Toyota. I mean, maybe I could see that happening, but I didn't put that on this list. I mean, I have a feeling it might happen. Then we get to another big change here. I think next year, 2311 Racing will expand to 2 cars, and I think Harrison Burton will go full-time Cup racing next year. I mean, Harrison Burton, he just made his Cup debut at Talladega. I believe he finished 19th in that race. And yeah, I mean, I'm feeling Harrison Burton will go full-time Cup racing next year for the 45 of 2311 Racing. Because the reason why I put it as 45 is because I think that's a number that Michael Jordan used to play when he played basketball. I mean, that's just me. I mean, as far as I heard of. But yeah, I mean, I think next year 2311 Racing will expand the 2 cars, and those charters would come from Rickler Racing. And yeah, I mean, that's why I mentioned earlier. But I mean, I just have a feeling in 2311 and 2311 Racing will go to 2 cars next year. So yeah. Then we move on. Stenhouse, he'll stay with GTD. I mean, even though I hate him, I don't like Stenhouse. As you guys know, Stenhouse is my least favorite driver. And yeah, then we have Alex Bowman. He will return to Hendrick Motorsports. And yeah, but I mean, I just have a feeling Bowman will stay around with Hendrick for many years to come. He already has a win this year at Richmond, and yeah. And then we got the 51 and 52 of Ricker Racing. I think Cody Ware and Josh Balicki will be the drivers of those 2 cars. I mean, those will be the full-time ones, the chartered cars. And yeah, but I mean, I have a feeling the 53 and the 15 cars will not be chartered. And as you can see here, I put it as Joey Gase and JJ Yealy for the 53. But I mean, we'll just see how that is. Then we get Timmy Hill here in the 66 for MBM Motorsports. But I mean, that one is a not chartered team, and I don't think they're going to run the full schedule. And yeah, and then we get to the 77 of Spire Motorsports. I don't know who else to put in that car. I mean, I just put it as AJ Allmendinger. I'm most likely going to be wrong on this one. But I have a feeling AJ Allmendinger will run a few races for Spire. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see other drivers in that car, but I'm not sure who else, because I couldn't just think of anyone. I mean, maybe we could see Jet Burton. Jet Burton, like, in that car, maybe for a few races. Like, I'm talking about the one that won Talladega in the Xfinity race. Not to get confused with the one that's in the NBC booth. But yeah, I mean, I just couldn't think of anyone else for the 77. And yeah, I just picked Allmendinger. Then we get BJ McLeod for Live Fast Motorsports. He'll be back. Then I think Ty Dillon, Brandon Jones, and Daniel Harvick will all split the 96 car for part-time. I mean, the 96 is not a charter team. And yeah, but I mean, I think Ty Dillon will return to that car for a few more races next year. Brandon Jones, I think he'll make his Cup debut in a few of those cars. in a few of the 96 car. And I think Daniel Harvick will make a few races in the 96. I mean, maybe, and probably the reason why I picked Daniel Harvick for that one is because he's running Toyota now, and I just have a feeling he can maybe just run the 96 car. I mean, maybe I could be wrong on that, but we'll just see. And then finally, we have Daniel Suarez's the 99 again. And yeah, so I mean, that's all the changes there. I think are going to happen for next year. Yeah, sorry about that. That was just me talking there. And yeah, so I mean, these are the new changes here. And yeah, so I mean, you can see here I picked Kurt Busch and Ryan Newman to retire. 2311 Racing to expand to 2 cars. Colleague Racing moves up to the Cup Series while still running for Xfinity. Go Fast Racing will run the super speedways and road courses, even though I could be wrong on that. Then Todd Gillan will run a part-time schedule for Front Row. Ricker Racing sells 2 charters to Colleague in 2311. And then AG, I want to go run a few races for Spire. And then here's my 22 Cup rookies prediction. I think there'll be Noah Gragson, Justin Haley, Austin Cindric, and Harrison Burton. So yeah, that's my driver lineup prediction for next year. And yeah, so I mean, if you guys don't agree with me on this, I mean, that's fine with me. But I mean, I could be wrong on a few of these, but we'll just find out how next year's lineup will look. But yeah, I mean, this is just, I just wanted to just do this video for a while now. I could possibly do my schedule prediction for next year. Wait, hang on. Sorry about that. I mean, I could possibly do that, but I mean, we'll just see. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.